Hey everyone! Welcome back to my weekly vlog. For those who have just joined, my name is Alexis and every week I will make a vlog to talk about what has transpired in the past week. And man, this past week has been an odd one. On Monday it was really raining hard, and then on Tuesday it rained so hard that our parliament got dissolved. We will soon be electing our next government for the following 5 years, and it will be interesting to see how this year's elections will turn out, since we haven't had one for quite a while. And because of all this, we have a flurry of talk about a particular candidate in the past week and his conduct in his past, and how people were coming out to put up testimonials about him being an unsuitable character and person that they would want in the PAP, which was very interesting. That guy's name is Ivan Lim, and in the end he actually stepped down and withdrew from the elections. In one day a petition was signed, in fact, that got 10,000 signatures for him to step down, and he actually did bow down to the pressure and step down. Though of course I don't think this is happening across all issues or all people in Singapore. For example, yesterday was also Pink Dot Singapore, and it was its 12th edition, I believe. However, this year is a special one because it is done on virtual live stream instead of the gathering at Hong Lim Park that most people are familiar with. So I used to visit that every year with my friends, but this year we couldn't do that. However, I do think that it is commendable that the organizers have moved it online to create a community of acceptance for people who are different than who we are, as what society mandates as normal people. And hopefully we will see the laws being changed and that 377A to be repealed, because it is very outdated, and it is something that shouldn't be holding us back as a nation as we proceed into the 21st century. And speaking of proceeding into the 21st century, so I actually unknowingly waded into a pile of Twitter mess when I responded to this writer / comedian on Twitter. His original tweet was how he didn't get it why people refuse to wear the mask when it's the safest way to prevent COVID-19 from being spread. And then when I saw it, I just thought, okay, maybe I will think for a moment, why are the mask protesters protesting? And I replied to him and said maybe it's because it signifies something else to them. And of course, I don't condone and I don't support not wearing masks. We are in Singapore where mask wearing is mandatory and everybody does it, and I totally agree that that's the right thing to do. But I didn't preface that, so I just mentioned that maybe because it signifies to the protesters that it kind of is taking away their freedom of speech and action, and it's also something like a deference towards a higher power of which they are not willing to submit themselves to. So, I mean, I just did that tweet and I just forgot about it because, you know, I was just commenting on someone's original tweet. And then yesterday, I was just checking Twitter casually, and then I realized that people were actually calling me out and flaming me on Twitter because they think that I am a mask protester and that I am maybe one of those anti-vaxxers, which I also don't get in the US, and they just started attacking me, saying that, you know, I'm stupid, I should go and die. And I'm like just really puzzled. Initially, I was just a little bit shocked to see all the response, and then very surprised because I was just offering my views, not that I agree with. I'm just thinking on behalf of someone else what they might be reacting towards, but then I got mistaken as one of them, and people just jumped into conclusions and just started flaming me on Twitter. And I was just like, that is so emblematic of what's happening in the US. People are very quick to jump to conclusions. They are not open to dialogue or to consider other points of views, and it's just a very hostile and kind of negative. And I can see how, you know, people might be affected by it. So I am personally a little bit affected because I feel very wronged, and yet at the same time, if I were to defend myself, I'm not sure again how that might be taken, because they can just, like, I don't know, attack me again or something. So I just kept quiet, but I'm talking about this now because that did happen, and that did kind of affect me during the week. Of course, the last thing that happened during the week was I think on Tuesday as well, I started to learn Italian, and I decided to pick it up on Duolingo, the app. I figured that I have some spare time now and there are no good shows to watch, so I thought I'll just learn a new language and do it casually. So I used Duolingo, and I'm now I think just a bit over the first stage of learning the basics, which is very funny because the app actually just throws you into the language without much explanation. So you end up learning really funny phrases and things that you don't normally learn, but they do because it has the right sort of vowels or word combination that will teach you something without you actually having to memorize. And a very good example was how in a sentence they said something about how the man will write in the sugar. Again, nobody will use that in real life, but that's how language apps try to teach you. I know how to say hello because I started learning on another YouTube video, but to me it's quite amusing. So that was what I have been doing during the week to occupy myself as well. So hopefully by next year, maybe I will be proficient if I were to do this self-learn thing using apps and websites. I have yet to go out to a restaurant, even though we have officially gone into, I think, week 2 of the phase 2. So I've yet to dine in a restaurant proper with a friend or friends. So far I've still been staying home and going to my friends' houses for celebrations, but not actually been dining out. So I'm really excited. I'm going out next week, and that will be my week. So I hope everybody will have a wonderful week ahead, and do remember to stay safe. Remember to use your mask. My custom mask is coming soon and I can't wait as well. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope everybody will stay healthy, happy and curious, and stay safe everyone. I will see you next week. Bye!